Good morning and welcome to Face the Nation. I'm John Dickerson. Joining us now, Donald Trump's campaign manager, Kellyanne Conway. Kellyanne, I want to start with immigration, please. First, Donald Trump has told us over the last several months that on the question of the 11 million undocumented, that they must leave the country as a part of his plan. That seems to have been pretty stable in our conversations with him, but now it seems to be shifting. Why is that?
Actually, he's not, John. He's pretty consistent, and immigration is a very complex issue. So if I may just talk about the 6 or 7 tenets of his plan, and I will address your question. First, there is still no amnesty. Secondly, he's building that wall. That has been the centerpiece of his candidacy and his immigration vision from the beginning, and it has not changed 1 inch. Third, we have to end these sanctuary cities. Next, he has said that he will enforce the law. That's a novel concept in Washington, D.C., where they just like to layer law on top of law and never enforce what we have. And he has also said that for those 11 million, if that in fact is the number, he wants to address that issue humanely and fairly. Those were his words. And he also said that he wants to not cause harm to people. So the question is what to do. He has said that if you want to be here legally, you have to apply to be here legally. We all learned in kindergarten to stand in line and wait our turn. And he is not talking about a deportation force, but he is talking about being fair and humane, but also being fair to the American workers who are competing for jobs, being fair to all of us who want secure borders and want the law enforced.
So if the law is to be enforced, the 11 million or so, let's just use that number for the moment, are here illegally. So enforcing the law would mean having them leave. So how do they leave? Do they self-deport? Or is there a, whether you want to call it a deportation force or something, that helps them leave the country immediately, as he's previously said he'd like to see happen?
Well, that's really the question here, John. And he has to deal with those agencies and those individuals already responsible for this who aren't doing the jobs. That nobody enforces the law the way he wants to enforce the law. So he obviously would work with law enforcement, immigration, the immigration agencies. We have ICE. We have agencies that already exist that are meant to be doing this already. And again, it's a very unusual idea for a president of the United States, that would be President Trump, to actually enforce the law and see how we can do this in a way that is, to quote him, fair, humane, and effective.
For someone who's been who's run on being candid about things, the apparent muddiness of this has caused some of his supporters. Mark Kerkorian is one of them. He's at the Center of Immigration Studies. Sarah Palin and Coulter have suggested or think or hear that he might be abandoning his position. Here's what Kerkorian said: whatever remaining chance he had to win the White House is gone. The fact now that he has betrayed his base on the signature issue that he ran on seems to me the death knell of his candidacy as a practical matter. He said that to the Wall Street Journal. So what has he got wrong?
Well, he said something differently in a meeting just last week, or maybe the week before, when he was in Trump Tower for a roundtable. But the fact is, I would say to all those people and Mr. Trump's supporters, that when you look at his plan and you look at the no amnesty and the building the wall and the enforcing the law and the making sure that there's no legalization, he's also said that. It's exactly what he's been talking about altogether. And by the way, there are 2 major choices in that ballot box. And if you look at Hillary Clinton's immigration plan, you see a convergence of a plan that would actually create more illegals coming in here, porous borders, sanctuary cities continue, catch and release, so that local law enforcement's hands are tied in terms of catching an illegal immigrant who has committed a crime. We'll just release them. Donald Trump has said, if you've committed a crime, you're out of here. And so this isn't just a referendum on Donald Trump's immigration policy. You have to contrast him to Hillary Clinton's. And she's to the left of Barack Obama on this. She's been very critical of President Obama because he has deported millions of illegals and because he has used executive amnesty a little bit, but she promises to use it that much more.